Ahoy there, everyone. I am Osmo. I am your captain, and today we are on the Captain's Corner post-game show with me, Osmo. Today we played Real Salt Lake in Salt Lake. It's our second game of the year, and unfortunately, it's our second loss of the year. Starting to rack those up in a very unfortunate thing, but at the same time, it is only the second game of the year, so we're feeling consternation on the level of, that's a hangnail. That's unfortunate. I should probably get that looked at. Let's begin with talking about some of the injuries that we had to deal with today. First and foremost, injury to Stephen Fry. Something about his arm was hindering him today, so they ended up starting Ty Miller, our 23-year-old backup goalkeeper. Happened to be his 23rd birthday today, so he actually started his very first MLS game on his birthday, which is a good thing. Congratulations, Ty Miller, and happy birthday. The unfortunate thing is that it didn't work out for him. He let two goals in. One of them came off of one where he should have just probably pushed a little bit harder, but we'll get to that one. Let's start off with his first save of the day, which was actually a real killer save. He had no touches within the first, I want to say, 15-20 minutes. And then suddenly, after that point in time, a nice shot to the top right corner, caught him. He got both hands up, tipped it over, finally got that first touch out of his system. And from there, actually looked okay. By all means, we're not thinking that Tyler Miller is messed up at all. He just happened to step into a game where he's going to have a bit tougher shot than regular, going up against guys like Plata and Beckerman for that matter. Looking at the rest of the field players, we had Brad Evans out. He has his shoulder separation issues that he's dealing with. Should be back for next week, but was still dealing with a lot of pain this week and not worth putting him out there against when you still got people on the bench. So in place of him, Zach Scott got the start in defense. In midfield, we had pretty much the same. Freeberg, Ozzy Alonso, and Ivan Schitz. And up front, again, normal starters, Clint Dempsey, Jordan Morris, and Nelson Valdez. So let's talk about the game itself. Sounders actually came out to a 1-0 lead off an Ozzy Alonso, let's say, rebound shot. He came up on the far post after Nick Raimondo had tipped it away and just knocked it in, doing the things that Ozzy does, just being there in the right spot in the right time. For once, it wasn't one of those shots from 60 yards out, just taking a pot shot. It was actually just right on top. Right before that, actually, we had a questionable offside call. I think, 50% of the people are going to call that offside, 50% aren't. Either way, Ivan Schitz had a great run and a great pass to Nelson Valdez, who popped it in the net. It's actually a beautiful goal. Just didn't count, but it did happen right before the actual goal that Ozzy put in. So Sounders start off 1-0. Yeah. RSL's Sonny putting one in on the corner kick near the end of the first half. And for whatever reason, the Sounders dropped off after that first goal. I'm not sure what changed in their mindset, but possession changed, shots changed, ability to defend changed. Something in them just said, oh, I have to play differently for some reason, which was unfortunate because they were really killing it in the first half. I think, generally speaking, people thought that Sounders owned that first half away from home, even with the backup keeper in. So whatever reason that they changed, I think they do have to work on that. Something mentally is clicking in their brains when they lose that first goal. It's something that we saw near the end of this Sporting Kansas City game as well, where just things didn't seem to be in the right foot. They didn't seem to be in the right gear for whatever reason. Continuing on, the Sounders were happy to play for that tie. Getting 1 point away from home is always good, no matter what team you're playing and what team you are. You always want to go away and come back with something. Unfortunately, near the end of the game, Ty Miller, showing his inexperience there, just didn't get enough of a run-up on a save that was coming from above. And Jamison Olave, who is a huge MLS veteran, knows exactly the right amount of exertion he can put into a shot. He went up first and headed it down right past Ty Miller for the winning goal. And that was in the 85th minute, something like that. Pretty close to the end there. In any case, congrats to Olave. You're in the right place at the right time. We really can't fault you on that one. And Ty Miller, I'm sorry, you've got to be a little more aggressive on that. That is your goal. And the only way he scores that goal is if you don't let him. That's all right, Ty. We'll catch you next time. But 2 is fine. 3 losses would be a trend. And our third loss would be coming up against Vancouver if that were to happen. So yeah, the next game coming up is against Vancouver. It is our rivals. It will be at home. It's an early rivalry game for us, something that actually has happened the last couple of years. The fourth game of last year was actually our first Portland game of the year. This time, Vancouver will be traveling down with all their young guys, pretty much everybody healthy, which is a little bit scary. They're a quick team, and they've been very good the last couple of years. And the Cascadia Cup starts right away, Vancouver being one of the teams that competes for it as well as tends to win it. We are the ones currently holding the cup. We have to defend that from them. Something to think about as we go into next week. So the broadcast was actually featured on Root Sports, which is a Northwest regional sports network, something that goes all the way out to Montana and all the way down through Oregon. And as part of that, we had our new regional broadcaster, which is Keith Costigan. For those who don't know, Keith Costigan used to be a Timbers not only supporter, but also a Timbers on-air personality, and used to play for the Timbers. I'm not saying that people can't be one thing and then become another thing, but if your two things are a Timbers supporter and a Seattle Sounders on-air personality, I have to consider that maybe you're just not telling me the truth. When we had Ross Fletcher come in, yeah, he was a supporter of other teams, but they were in England, so it was totally okay for him to be like, I'm going to try this new thing. Oh, the Sounders are wonderful. I'm wholeheartedly on board. I just don't feel that with Keith Costigan. On top of that, I would like to hear Casey Keller speak from time to time. I don't know what Keith Costigan thought he was doing, or if he felt that he needed 95% of the airtime, but Casey Keller's got a wealth of experience not only as a footballer, but as a sounder. Maybe it's time for Keith to shut up a little bit, bring it down a notch or two, and let the game play out. Other things of note, a few yellow cards on the game. Jovan Jones, Zach Scott, Eric Freeberg, all with yellow cards on our side, as well as Clint Dempsey near the end of the game for being salty. Yeah, disciplinary speaking, wise, I don't think anybody went out of control today. Everybody was pretty much still in business. The only thing that I think might have been a bit over salty was Dempsey's yellow card near the end of the game, but not really a big deal. It's going to be all right. One last thing to note before next week's game against Vancouver is there's a rumor out there, just a rumor, that Darren Maddox might be moving from Vancouver to Portland. So that's something to look out for. Darren Maddox is, and I want to say his third year. He was a high-level rookie in his first year there, and then has continued to be very fast and pretty effective for Vancouver up until this point in time. Again, just a rumor, nothing confirmed as far as I can tell at this point. But if Maddox is not going to be playing for Vancouver, that is something we can, look forward to in our next home match. In any case, that's the end of this post-game show for us. We will see you next week, and you'll never yacht alone.